Welcome back to the second part of the practice assessment. In this video we're going to look at question 2. In the last video we looked at question 1 and here is question 2. So I can score out question 1 because we've done it. Yay, nice one, finished with. And we're going to focus just on question 2. So looking at lines 14 to 17, that's really important. Explain how 2 examples of the writer's word choice make the worries that opponents of drones have clear. So it's this idea, it's the worries that I need to look at. The worries that opponents of drones have. Okay, so what are they worried or anxious about? Let's get in and have a look. So lines 14 to 17 means all of this is gone. I don't have to look at this. It's useful to have a read of it in the beginning, but not interested now. I'm only interested in lines 14 to 17, which are down here. So let's have a read of that. On the other hand, many people are less enthralled by the flying machines. They feel their privacy is threatened by drones. Drones, they argue, turn their operators into amateur spies snooping on our homes from above. Now, 4 words jump out at me there that could be possible candidates for my answer. That word enthralled, just because it's just a big word and looks interesting, maybe I'll use it. This idea of something being threatened, spies, and snooping. Now, let's have a look again. I'm now having my doubts about enthralled. Have a look. On the other hand, many people are less enthralled. To be enthralled with something is just to be sort of really enamored by it, almost obsessed with it. So if you see something that you really want, you might be enthralled by it. Or if you went to a circus show or an amazing stage show, you might be enthralled, fully focused on it. But that doesn't tell me, even though they've used the negative less enthralled, why they're anxious. So I'm actually going to rule you out there, enthralled. Bye-bye. So that leaves me with 3 options. And I think these are 3 good options. Threatened, spies, and snooping. All of these are negative things that it sounds like some people are worried about when it comes to drones. So let's have a look at the first one. To threaten. What does it mean? To tell someone that you will hurt them or cause problems if they do not do what you want. I could threaten a student in my class with a demerit if they don't stop talking or looking out the window or whatever they're doing. Okay, so there's little threats and big threats. What are the whispers, the suggestions of that word though? So here we go. A threat is somewhat menacing. So maybe the drones are menacing. You can be intimidated by a drone and feel somewhat bullied. I like these ideas. I think these are perfect for my word choice answer. So how will that look when I write it down? The word threaten. So I could write threatened or threaten. They're close enough. 1 mark for that. Meaning to tell someone that you will hurt them if they do not do what you want. Suggests that opponents of drones feel intimidated by the new technology. 2 marks there already. But I've got some bankers. I've got some spares as well. It also suggests that they find drones menacing and feel bullied by them. So menacing and bullied would have got me the mark either. So nice, easy 2 marks there. Okay, moving on to the next question. So I'm still focusing on the worries that people have about the drones. I'm still focusing on lines 14 to 17, which is down the bottom here. Enthralled I didn't use. Threatened is gone. I'm going to look down here at this last sentence. Drones, they argue, turn their operators into amateur spies. Now, that immediately makes me think about James Bond's 007. So what does a spy do? It's a person who secretly collects and reports information. And what does that suggest to me? Right, loads of extra suggestions there. The idea of surveillance. So we've got surveillance cameras all over the country, on our roads, in our town centres, etc. It suggests we're being watched closely by the drones, and that the drones are revealing aspects of our lives that maybe we don't want to. We could be sitting relaxing in our back garden, enjoying the hot weather, the sunshine, and a drone appears overhead. You mightn't necessarily want that to be filmed. So in our answer, the word spies, we get our first mark in nice and early, making sure again I've got my speech marks. Always have the speech marks. Meaning a person who secretly collects and reports information suggests that opponents of drones feel that they're being watched closely. Now, that second word there, closely, is very important. It's an intensifier. If I had just said that they're being watched, I may not have gotten the marks. because spies is stronger than just being watched. They're watching your every move. They're watching you closely. So I can get a second mark for that. It also suggests that they are under surveillance and that drones reveal private aspects of their lives. So this idea of revealing. So either of those 2 points at the end would have got a mark as well. So another 2 marks there. And I now have a nice, healthy 4 marks for this question. But what if I didn't? What if I'd made a mistake with the word threaten or with the word spies? Well, there was a third example. It's right here down the bottom. It came straight after spies, and it's the word snooping. Okay, so snooping on our homes from above. So what does snooping mean? Have you ever snooped on someone, or has anyone snooped on you? I think this picture is a great image. You often hear the tale of, neighbours snooping on each other, looking at each other over the garden fence, watching closely what's going on. So I love these statues here, the sculpture, this idea of listening through the wall, what's going on next door. That's what snooping is. So snooping is to try to find out about other people's private lives. What does that suggest then with drones and snooping? It suggests they're trying to discover things about people, that they're prying, and that they're interfering in private matters that are of no concern of theirs. So how does this look in our banker, in our extra question? The word snoop, bingo, 1 mark. Meaning to try to find out about other people's private lives suggests that opponents feel that drone owners are trying to discover things about their private lives. That would have get 1 mark there. But we've also got our extension here. It also suggests that drone pilots are interfering and prying where they shouldn't. So these 2 would also get the marks. So an extra 2 marks. So if you have the time, and only if you have the time, put in an extra word, an extra answer. You won't get marked down if you get them wrong. You won't get marked down if you get them wrong, but you can pick up crucial extra marks. And 1 or 2 or 3 marks can be the difference between an A or a B, or a difference between passing and failing. So well worth a small bit of effort to grab some extra marks. So what did we do? We just followed the formula. And that's it. I think by now you're going to be getting more and more confident with this. Word choice is simply the quote plus the meaning plus suggestions. And you get the marks for the quote and the suggestions. We followed the 3 steps as we've always done. Hopefully you're getting more comfortable with those now. And we use the formula every single time. Now, I want you to pause. It's time for you to celebrate. You've done really well. We've covered an awful lot in this word choice section. I want you to celebrate whatever you have gained from watching these videos, from doing the worksheets, from pausing and taking the time to do them properly. It may be that you feel more confident with word choice. Celebrate that. It may be that you weren't aware of the formula before and now you're using it. Celebrate that. It may be that you're using the word suggests in your answers. You mightn't be getting the answers right, but you have started using the word suggests. Brilliant. Celebrate that. It may be that you're being more careful about looking at the line numbers. Celebrate that. Celebrate the small things, the small victories. That's the key to keeping going in this course. If you celebrate those small things, have those small victories, it won't feel like close reading, won't feel like such a slog. So well done. I'm really proud of you guys for getting this far in the word choice section and for getting through that practice assessment. Remember, you can always put a photocopy of the assessment in a drawer, come back to it a few months later because you'll forget some of the answers by that stage, and give it another go and come back to these answer videos later. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Well done again, guys.